Yo, Nasty Nate, Brian, Frank, what are y'all doing? Builder Dude, Jeremy, Bob. I have an issue. I did something kind of stupid. Well, I didn't think it was stupid, but it's kind of stupid. You know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, uh, the last, I don't know, probably month, I got the bright idea that I was going to put this additive in my paint to try and try and I tried to fix it. Yes, I tried to put this additive in my paint to make it ultimately durable. But by doing that, I did the opposite because I want the best everything. You know what I mean? Like I want paint to stick the best. I want clear coat to stick the best. I want to try and make everything very bulletproof as I can. Use the best clear coat, use the best paint, use all that kind of stuff. Make it all jive. Well, I added something to my paint that did not make it jive. It actually did the opposite. Actually, well, I take that back. What it did was that it made my paint stick incredibly, incredibly well. The problem is the clear coat then doesn't stick to the paint because it's too hard. So burns on this bait, I tested it. Uh, and I said, let's see if this shit's what's going on here. So I was able, the clear coat came off. Like it didn't come off. That's the weird thing is because I check baits from time to time. Like the standard usual paint test is you take a piece of tape, and if it's going to delaminate, you put it on there and you pull it, and you'll see your clear coat will typically come off. And I just do that from time to time just to check. So that hasn't like I check baits all the time. Like I said, I always just randomly do this. So I checked it on this one, nothing happened, and then I put a pinhole, like I broke through the layer of clear coat to see if it would peel. Sure as shit, it would just peel off. And so what I basically did was I made my paint so hard that it wouldn't accept clear. So what typically happens is like when you paint, um, your clear coat kind of re-wets the paint and it bonds uh, to one as one to your base layer. Well, I made my base layer so hard that uh, that the clear won't adhere to it. The option for that when that happens is you like with a car you would sand the base coat to give the clear coat a bite. In my case, I can't sand clear coats. So I mean I can't sand base coats because they have color and detail and all that kind of stuff on them. So the thing is I didn't do it on every bait. I did it on some baits. And I don't know why. That's the problem is I don't remember which ones I did it to. So um, if you get a bait and it's not going to like peel off initially. But once you like rash through it, it'll start flaking off. But you can send it to me if it does that, and I can make the clear coat stick. Um, Paint will hold up without clear, lacquer especially, or urethane, whatever. I mean, it's not water soluble, so um, it'll just rash up quicker. Like you could throw a, I could paint you a bait that was lacquer, and you could throw it, and it would just rash up, but it would do fine. Um, but so look at your baits. If they start doing any funny business after you've been catching some fish on them, send them back. We'll get them re-clear coated. Because from what I can tell, the only thing that the clear coat is pulling off is my signature and the eyes. Um, the old warts didn't have clear on them because I believe those to be a they were like a single stage um, paint to where the clear is mixed in to the paint. So it's just like spraying a clear coat, a colored clear coat, um, where it's got a hardener mixed into the paint. Um, so, uh, like the paint's not going to fall off. The paint is stuck, which is usually the hard part. Like typically you see baits fail. You see the clear coat, the 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 color, the base come off from whatever it's sticking to. But in this case, I boo-booed up the adhesion of the clear. Um, so, like I said, it's not the end of the world because if anything happens, I typically have to redot the eyes, re-sign it, peel off a little clear, redo it, or re-clear it. Simple enough. The jaw dogs, I don't honestly, I have no clue, Brian. I don't remember what's what. Um, I don't remember what I did it on and which ones I didn't because there was no rhyme or reason. I was just in there and I was like, oh, I'll throw some of this shit in there just see what happens. Um, I don't understand the paint burns. There's ways around that. There's ways around that. I just have to re-wet the base. The base got too dry and set too long. So there's no sanding involved. There's none of that. I just have to get that. I just have to get the base to where it will be porous and accept. That's what happened to this bait, Brian. That's exactly why. But that paint ain't coming off ever. Like that paint is one with plastic. Um, so the super bug. Like I said, keep an eye on your baits. If you get one that you fish extra hard and it starts flaky, that's what it is. Oh, I pulled everything off of this one, Burns. Epoxy and all. I stripped the whole thing down. I might have to send you. I might have to send you this one back for a reseal. Now, if the paint was falling off, that would be awful. But luckily, the paint I did a good job of. I did too good a job. But that's what you get for experimenting. What a dummy. What a dummy. We'll see. Stardust base your cranks. That would be smart. They start dropping the lake in the middle of July. Kentucky Lake during the whole Tennessee River. Well, Morgan, I added something to my paint to improve durability and adhesion, and it backfired. It made it so durable and so adhesive that it wouldn't accept my clear coat. So the clear coat is basically just floating on the outside of the paint. Yes, the jaw dogs are the mid divers. I hope they don't all peel. They might though, but we'll fix them. We'll fix them. Might get lucky. Like I said, I can't remember what I did, so it's mainly just a ticking time bomb that we sit and wait on. Which one? This one, Barnes? I didn't have to. I didn't have to. Everything was playing nicely today. I needed to. I needed to see. I needed to check layers, so I didn't need heat to do anything. I didn't need it to like melt anything. I needed to be able to peel and check. Where is it? Like here's a piece of the epoxy. Like it's got paint on it. Like that paint and that epoxy is one thing now. It is one entity. Too good. Too good, unfortunately. I like I said, shot myself in the foot. I shot myself in the foot. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. It's annoying and it's frustrating and it kept me up last night and made me a little bit nauseous. But we're trying to correct the issue. Brennan, watch the clear coat. If you throw the shit out of one and it starts rashing up real good and you rash through the clear and it starts peeling off, let me know. I'll fix it. I will fix it. So the moral of the story, if you find something that works, don't really start dicking with it. Shot in the toe with a pellet gun. Ouch. I don't know that anybody, none of my friends' parents was ever brave enough to let us have pellet guns. We only got BB guns. Hella has been having a time with that little Dreamwalker. He has been, every time he's out there on the river, he's slinging that thing around. He's been putting the Dreamwalker through its paces. Oh, did y'all listen to BTL this morning? I didn't, but I heard parts, so I kind of did. But when I was scalping this bait, I was trying to listen to BTL and getting more and more nauseous as I pulled sections from it. Milliken was on, and they were talking about Van Dam and different revenue streams, and this is what Ben was talking about, different ways to earn money from fishing, like having your name um, having your name uh, on stuff to get that revenue stream in of like a royalty for whatever the product is. And he was like, he made the statement that there's never been anyone as good as Van Damme at that. And I hate to break it to him, but there has been somebody as good, if not better, than Van Damme at that. I guess he forgot who Bill Dance was. I was listening to him and I was like, dude, there's a huge oversight here. I feel like Bill Dance sold more shit than Kevin Van Damme ever thought about. Like I feel like people buy KVD 1.5s just because it's like a Strike King square bill. Right? Like they go and they look for a square bill, they see that one and they're like, "Oh yeah, the KVD 1.5, sure." Bill Dance, like I bought Fat Free Shads because Bill Dance sent me there. I don't know. I feel like KVD stuff is in the right place and it's the right product that people buy in mass. But like Bill Dance would sell you a damn foot long buzz bait and you'd like it. You know what I mean? Let's see. I tried to switch epoxies the other day because Hobby Lobby was out of my PSA and something didn't jive quite right. Got a few fish eyes on my test bait. The new stuff. Definitely didn't watch the Clickbait King. Frank doesn't try. He tries not to buy the 1.5s. I own some, but the only reason I own them is because my buddy caught them really good down here one day, and he caught them on this bluegill color, and they changed the bluegill color. And he called me and he was like, "Hey, do you have any of these?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Strike King changed them." I was like, "What do you mean they changed them?" He's like, "There's an old version and there's a new version, and the way it's painted, it's different colors." And I said, "All right, well, I'll look for the old one." Well, I found like 10 of the old ones and I bought them all. They're still sitting over there. I found them and I was like, "Hey, you want these?" And he's like, "Not really." Okay. He's like, "I caught them on the other one too." I was like, "I thought you wanted them." He's like, "Eh." I don't know. Let's see. Where are they? Oh. That was the color. I don't know what they changed. But that was the color that got swapped. This was the first run of that color. I think they changed the blue. They made it a lot lighter blue. But I don't know. He was flipping out about it. I bought, it wasn't 10, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I was betting. I was like, well, I'll keep them. That's not a big deal. I'll keep them, and they'll probably, maybe somebody else will have the same itch for that color, and then, hey, I've got them. I can get my money back. Nobody cared about that color. Didn't matter. Apparently, it didn't. Apparently, enough people didn't buy it or notice that it ever came up in conversation across the internet. So it was, yeah, that actually had a decent eye. Now that I look at it, that had a nice eyeball in it. It appears to have a nice eyeball. These are old. This is when KVD. This is when he was really selling baits because they moved. They had to move from Costa Rica to China because the Costa Rican plant, I guess, had to build all the other stuff, and then they just had to have China build the rest of the 1.5s to meet demand. So, Nasty Nate, you like that color? So you were one of the 4 people that noticed that they changed the color? I probably should get rid of them. Just one of those things that sits over there in seclusion, doesn't get looked at. It just rides around. Got some hybrid hunters in the eyes. All just popped out. Must be getting cheap again. I didn't have that issue with hybrid hunters. I felt like the hybrid hunters I had recently were not easy to get out, but it might have been another bait. I can't remember. Great color everywhere. Have I tried sitting which ones in the sun? Those 1.5s? I'm afraid they would explode. Or to get the eyes out. Does anybody in the South have success with KVD spinnerbaits? I can't get bit on them unless maybe in a private pond. No, I don't know what would what would be the cause for that. I mean, it should be able to get a bite. I wouldn't think it's complete. I certainly wouldn't think it was fish repellent. Maybe better baits for the job, sure, but I wouldn't think a fish would be totally disgusted by it. Well, they would have to be just dumb pond fish. No offense, Brendan. Maybe not dumb. Maybe unpressured. I don't treat Strike King, lipless, or square bills any differently than I do every other brand, but Strike King are the only ones that rust. Interesting. Interesting. I've never naive. That's a better term. Naive. I'm trying to think. The only thing I never threw a lot. I threw a 5 XD and a 5 and a 6, a bunch, and they would rust around the hook hanger, but not enough that I was like worried about it. Yeah, I was with you, Jeremy. I didn't like the KVD logo on the blades, and I thought it looked cheap. Like if they would have branded it in and made it like a hard sealed impression inside the blade, which they could have certainly afforded, I think it would have added value to the bait and made it look better to where a guy like me would have actually maybe bought one because they looked to be quality, but I always thought they looked cheap. So that's just my personal preference, but I mean they kind of are. Face first has never caught a fish out of a lake, like a private lake. Never been pond hopping. Never snuck into a golf course. You ever tossed the 2.5 weight bait? I haven't. I literally have not bought a Strike King bait besides the Hackney swim jig, like a Strike King hard bait. Probably since these. Um, I've just never, yeah, Bissy flips, but like hard crankbait. Um, well, I screwed up this weekend. My local bait store had Terminator frogs for $3, and you missed it. You missed the deals. That's unfortunate. I have never tossed the KVD 2.5 Wake. Is it good? Hybrid Hunters, yeah, but those weren't really. I mean, they're kind of for me, but not really. I sold them. No, I've got the 4S's, and I know people like it. I've painted a lot of 4S's for guys, but it wasn't. I didn't. I mean, I had enough Bagleys and other shit that I threw that I didn't. That when the 4S was out, I didn't. The 4S didn't really get me going. Anyone heard the Strike King Kong Wake? Yeah, I had one over here somewhere. Um, there was some. There was a lot of talk about that bait because it was an existing bait, and I want to say there's a lot of stink about that bait. That it was one of Mickey's baits that got ripped off by somebody else, and then they sold it to, or they didn't sell it. Then Strike King ripped it off to them, or there's a whole big because if you look at the joint, it's a 316 style joint, and there's is it Nate's Baits out of California that the argument over who came up with that joint first. Um, I've heard that argument before. Um, that that style joint with the big round block in the middle. Um, those there's speculation over that being ripped off. But I don't know the guy. Well, I don't know what his actual name is, but I think it's Nate's Baits. Let me look it up. I don't know if he does much anymore, but I think there was some rumblings about who was. Uh, you don't see him pop up much, hardly at all anymore. Nate's Baits, but apparently he was building baits in that style way long ago, and it got hijacked. Um, let's see. See a bunch of soft plastics. See, not in the hard bait world anymore. That's not one. There's some hard baits. Oh yeah, maybe it was the trout. See those joints? Very 316-ish. But some, I think, would argue that 316 is very Nate's baitish. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the story. That will probably go down into oblivion as to who did what. But I like the RC 1.5 scars. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the first first time he posted a bait was 20, or the first time he posted a bait on Facebook was 2011. That was a pretty long time ago, but not that long ago. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I don't know the truth of the matter. Fishing yesterday, caught 4 smallmouths in the middle spots, dropped a small one, 2 got nothing. 20 total, biggest 2.5. The wife caught it. How about that? Focus on me, camera. That was a good day. Rich, hope the weather was nice. Got to rip on some fish. If your clear coat peeled off, send it back to me and I'll fix it. After your 20 bass, if it's hanging in there, fingers crossed it stays that way. How far am I from Destin? A couple hours. Not far. Ask Amy, she was in Destin 2 hours. Yeah, I would say 2.5. 2 seems. You coming to Destin, Travis? Destin has good shark fishing. I've never been. Have I? I might have went bottom fishing out of Destin. Maybe. And we didn't have to go far. You could drive like 5 miles offshore and you were like on a grouper hole. You're blurry. I want it to focus. Unblur me, camera. I don't know why it's having such a. I don't know why it's having such a problem focusing. Kyle was supposed to be in Destin. Instead, work happened. The smaller medium diver. I mean, that's to be expected, Burns. Little shit always gets bit faster. It's not blurry for hella. It looks blurry to me. Like I look blurry. Yeah, I'm not a fan of sand either. All it needs is eyes checked. Hella, put your glasses on, bro. Put your contacts in. I don't know why I'm saying that focus. Let me get over here. Weird. Sand does get everywhere, and you can never get rid of it. If it gets in your car, right here. There it went. Finally, I had to give it a focal point. Um, it's clear now. Should be. Yeah, dude. Nasty Nate. Kids get in your car with sand. Your wife, anybody, anything, shoes. Sand's there for life. You'll never get that sand out. That's what I hate about it is you'll permanently get sand showing up. Like I've still got sand in my truck from spring break 2005, and my truck was made in 08. I would love the beach if the sand was swapped for grass. That would be nice. I'm allergic to grass, but I would deal with it to enjoy the beach. Start going to Florida. The actual Floribama or the Florida Bama line? It's not any better, bro. Let me tell you, it's not any better. If you're looking for crowds, maybe look at Fort Morgan. You might be able to get a little less population down there, but you start looking at Orange Beach, everywhere down there is jammed up, dude. No more hidden gems. Johnson Beach. Maybe likes Big Johnson Beach, where the nudists go. Brendan, I just cut it, bro. Don't go to Orange Beach during concerts. Yeah, ow. What is that? It's the type of grass you're allergic to called crab. Jeremy, I don't know. The only reason I know I'm allergic to grass is you know when you're a kid and everybody's like playing in the yard and everybody's like sitting out there dicking around like eating ice cream and you're like sitting in the grass. I would do that, except I would always stand up and the bottom of my legs would just like itch. And everybody's like, "Oh, let's go sit in the grass and like hang out." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't really want to go hang out in the grass." But I didn't know I was allergic to grass. I just knew whenever I sat in grass, the back of my legs would itch. And then when I was in college, I had an allergy test done where they poke you 5,000 times on your back, and they turns out I'm allergic to cucarachas and grass, according to my needle pokes. Cockroaches and grass. Gotta take a hit of the EpiPen. Exactly. I'll toke on my EpiPen and then cut the grass as fast as possible. I didn't know TK smoked. Yeah, he's got one of those Epi vapes. My son as a baby would look like we beat him with a whip after crawling around the grass. Yeah, that was me. Um, so it's a weird allergy. It's not. It doesn't really affect me. I mean, I sneeze and I probably swell up a little bit, like my face and stuff from like the breathing in the grass trimmings, but it's not like I don't need like a damn inhaler or anything. Probably do. Don't know it. But who knows? Who knows? Would y'all be offensive? Would y'all be offended if one of these were black? Do we need a black Dreamwalker, or would that be no? Should I just do white, bone variations, something? John likes black. Okay. What would happen? AJ is on the right track. What would happen if I did one side black and one side bone? What would happen? Your vote doesn't count then, Hella. Hella's vote is eliminated. Allergic to deer. Next is beef. Black, but yeah, do it like I could do it like a skunk. Do a skunk pattern. That'd be badass. Um, skunk. Interesting. I think maybe I'll do me a personal one that color, black on one. Like do the mistake, but do like the ebony and ivory salt and pepper mistake. Black, white. I'll probably just do mine like that. Wasn't the last Dreamwalker like a black SH4? It was. I did do one in that round. South Jersey's got one that he catches them on his weird ass fish. I don't know if that's good for the rest of everybody. Yes, you can tell which side. You have to watch your bait very closely so you can tell which side the fish is striking. And come to your own conclusion. Oh, that fish was definitely eating the black side. Like, no, bro, that fish hit the white side. Like, no. I would like to see that. I have to do some thinking. If it were up to me, I would probably do the. If it were me just being thought processy with if I was like, how can I do something interesting for these that would be cool? I would do that. I would do the I would probably do the mistake skunk. Um, 2-pack. 2-pack. Speaking of, I need to order. I need to order packages. I still haven't done that. I think if you did a black and white one though on the same bait, that would just really confuse people. But I think it would be awesome. I am AJ. I am. I have to revamp my cards though, because I think I'm gonna go from a vertical card to a horizontal card. Is the plan, possibly. Possibly. Same style packaging, but can you paint both Dreamwalkers that bone you did for the giveaway wake? That one? Probably not. I mean, I could, but I don't think I'd ever get done. Is the problem? Could do that, Kyle. It'd be like the Spy versus Spy edition. The Spy versus Spy edition. I'm gonna have to put. I'm gonna send the packaging back with half a tin of chew that I gave chew away to a needy person that was out. How kind of you. How kind. All right. Motion at the bay. Yeah, if I had the machine, I could have a robot cut it for me. Actually, I will probably get one into the week. Oh, you do? Hella, I forgot about that. Have you thrown it yet? I forgot Hella was the keeper of the walking bass rat. Dude, don't throw it because you're going to fall in love with it and you're going to throw all your spros away. Like, wait a minute. I don't have to wait. I don't have to worry about the weight falling out. The only thing I have to worry about now is this stupid walking bass rat killing all of my fish because it sticks them all in the tongue. That was a little bit of a con of that bait. It was not afraid to tongue hook one. I was thinking about that, AJ. Like I was looking at the bronze weights because I took a bunch out to mold, and they're all different. I will tell you that there are a lot of different weights. Um, but I still haven't quite figured out how they paint them because there's no like holder mark. It's very odd. I don't see where they hold the bait from. It must be in a. They must hang it with a string or something around the inside of the weight. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Standing rice. I don't even know what that looks like, but it sounds fishy. But if it's snaggy and aquatic, then you're probably right. You're probably right. Not completely inept. Hella has been at the nail salon supply store trying to match the perfect brown. Let us know when you figure it out, Hella. If you're thinking white, what about your blueback on the top water that might have a southern bias? Could do a blueback. You mean a physical blueback or the fish, the herring blueback? Yeah, ask your dad, AJ, how one would uh, powder coat something and have no markings where it was ever touched. I mean, I'm guessing it was some sort of small string or something. I don't know. Or probably wire so you could heat it up. If it was string, it would get hot and it would melt. I don't know. Drop of glue on one side tacked onto an eye painting screw. Maybe. That doesn't seem very efficient, though. That doesn't seem very Chinese, but maybe. Drop them in hot to the powder, sift them, and bake them. Yeah, but there's got to be a surface on something. How was that done? Oh, well, this one isn't a good example because the back side of it is raw lead. So this one was dipped like this. Well, how do they hold it, Jim? where at what point is how is this held for them to even spray it? Because there's no markings anywhere. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This one obviously was painted facing one way, but I've got some that are completely coated on either side. This one's been scraped off, but I don't know. Maybe not. This one looks like it's missing paint on that side. Mm, Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe both sides aren't painted. Maybe it's just one side. Powder coat your worm weights. Use a paper clip. You have to run it through and hang it. What color do you powder coat your worm weights? Rich, you sound serious. When will we see how I do splatter? You want a splatter tutorial Thursday night? Campers only? Thursday afternoon? We do have a cell booster here, a signal Wi-Fi booster here, so I might be able to take my computer in there and it might actually work. I have to experiment. Struggled relearning to splatter. Yeah. Yeah. How about 3 Patreons? No, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. I will say I bought the cheapest tungsten weights on Amazon, and whatever paint is on is good and don't shit. I never look at Amazon for fishing stuff, dude. I never even think about like finding deals on like tungsten on Amazon. I just buy it whenever I find it on like Blowout somewhere. Academy, typically. What about a gray top water? Biggest bass I've ever caught on a frog was on a gray frog. $1,500 tungsten order. AJ, are you nuts, bro? Is the tungsten moving? AJ's a regular Woo tungsten over there. AJ's turning into Titan tungsten. Gray frog, yeah. A gray frog is responsible for my largest frog bass. Let's see, I can show it to you. I don't think I have the frog anymore. I think it bit the dust. It might be in this box though. Let's see. Let's see if I still have the carcass. It's somewhere. There's one of those stupid ass jackal frogs that everybody likes that I don't like. Ooh, there's a teeny brownie. Hello, you need? No weight, of course. There was a homemade, Hella, you'll probably like that one. Homemade brownie. I painted that one with very gigantic thick rubber. That was a homemade brownie. It's not that close, but close enough. That was a sumo frog. Here's another brownie. That one's like the ghost version. It was pretty decent. Those are good frogs. Very good frogs. I think Dean took a lot of similarities out of the sumo frog. Great frog. Where is my? Oh, look at here, hell! I should have brought this stupid thing. I should have brought this thing. Let it gurgle around in some weeds. Here's a brownie, no paint. They're soaking as we speak, AJ. Ow. So apparently I don't have that frog here. This is probably one of the better Bobby's Perfect colors. Smoke, and it's gray with a black and white tail. That's the one. The bottom's kind of white, but it's pretty gray. Gray and black skirt, yellow eyes. Be like gray coach dog. It's an NF60, John. I don't know your lingo. Morgan, yes, I believe it does. Let's look. Unless I robbed him out of it. This donkey has the right hook. Let's see. Correct. Same hook. Same hook, same weight, same everything. Yep. Nories. No, I do not. No, I do not. Lost another donkey weight? I better get to work then. Maybe I can do some of those this weekend. That's all the same, Brendan. Paint's paint. Paint them white, paint them black, paint them. The only way that there would be less work is if I just painted them that color and put eyes on them. That would be less work. But Outside of that, no less. No get out of jail free cards. I can't leave anything alone anyway. Even if I try to, I start tinkering with it and saying that's not done. You need something. You need something else. Jeremy, I don't know how you don't throw the frog, bro. A bubble gum actually wouldn't be terrible. It would be kind of, it would be cool to do the black one with a black base and then do nothing but neon accents on it. That would be kind of cool. Like a black neon SH4 kind of. Tuner style frogs. No. Sounds like work. Sounds like work to me. Ready Twister. No, because I knocked too many weights out, and as soon as I did that, I'd be like, "What weight was that? Was that a 5/16? Was that an 8 gram weight or a 9 gram weight? Was that a 7.5 gram weight? It was walking really good. Oh, not normal weights. Are those Thai frogs that are like, they have like the single hook in the back and the little puffy skirt? There was a dude that used to sell those way back in the day, and he was from like Thailand or something, and nobody wanted them. And then all of a sudden, the snakehead guys got on him, and he was off to the races. Ratty Twister. No, it's not those. Are the Skitters? Yeah. But those, I used to see those sit around forever, and then all of a sudden they got big. Ratty Twister frog for heavy cover. I mean, that's basically. I mean, it's basically this. I mean, if you wanted to call this that, it's the same thing. It has no weight. You add weight if you want it, but same thing. If you want to call this a tuner frog, this is a tuner frog. Tweak as much as you like. Speaking of gray, this old gray battleship. Dude, this ain't get destroyed. Can't believe I left one in Hella's boat. Um, black body chartreuse top. I could do the skunk with a chartreuse tip on the nose, black sides and belly. Uh, give it away to the next Visor Gang member. Don't do it, dude. My treasured frog? I was giving away my discontinued frogs I left in his boat. I could do black with a chartreuse back. Waffle the frog. I was in the one. I was in the one a couple nights ago. Hella, I was just lurking. I caught the last like 10 minutes. I think one of the children was having an issue going to sleep that night. Yeah, I would definitely rig that one. Bass Rat Waffle. Name the price and I'll buy every spot. Have my rat back. I don't know who. I don't know who the rat would interest. You were, if that was your prediction, South Jersey, where I was at, yes, it was. It was. The bean was doing something. The bean was doing something. She was up to some mischief, if I recall. I don't know why we were up so late. Maybe we had been somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? Well, I got some thinking to do on these things. Ooh, crackle. Where the white and the chartreuse comes through all the black. That might be tough because you usually need pretty contrasting colors for it to like show up real good. And the crackle's real sketchy, like it's pretty inconsistent, but I could try it. That would be actually pretty cool. That would be a pretty cool idea. Or I could just crackle the whole thing and just paint the whole thing white and then just crackle the whole side so you can see wood grain through the crackle. Oh, I got a bunch left, Burns. I got a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I've only done 10. And I'm sweating over here like a dang hoochie mama in church. And I don't mean hoochie mama. Bone crackle. Are you saying you use the Hello Stream to put the kids to sleep? No, I usually try and put them to sleep and then hop on the stream. But I don't think they were having any of it that night. I think we might have been that might have been the night they were cracked out on ice cream or something. I don't remember. Wood crackle. Maybe I'll try a wood crackle. The problem is if I do bone over the wood, this is basically bone. Honestly, I mean, you can catch the shit out of them on this raw because the wood grain is very bone. It needs a little more yellow in it. It's a little brown, but I could probably just add a little bit of like highlighted, almost like a stain to yellow it up a little bit and make it a little brighter, and it would probably be just fine. Um, but a crackle would be cool. The only thing I don't like about the crackle is the inconsistency bothers me. Like I can get it close, but it's never. It seems to crackle for no apparent reason, more or less than the previous one. Like no matter how consistent you feel like you're being, you're like, all right, I'm gonna spray over this at this pressure at this speed, and you do it the same way every time, and it doesn't crackle the same. Um, Going to attempt a live bass fishing session on the water tomorrow night for the Visor Gang. There you go. Yeah, Megabass is they got the crackles figured out. They're crackle meisters. It does have a mind of its own. Too much and you get big separation. Too little and you get little separation. It's hard, like finding that happy medium can be tricky. Ooh, now we're talking, Jeremy. Glow in the dark crackle. Yeah, that's always been my problem, Burns, is I'd get through like 10 baits and one of them, or 10 baits would look good, and then I'd do 11, 12, 13, and 11, 12, 13 would look weird, and then the other ones would kind of go back to normal. But I don't know. Virtually or in real life, Brendan? Yes and no, Jeremy. It is supposed to just crackle wherever, and it does that, but it's controlling the quantity and the size of the crackles. That, like I was saying, if you spray it too heavy, you'll get like three big crackles that go through it that are like the size of pencils. But if you do it real light, you get a very fine spidery effect. You have to find that like perfect medium to where it just like lays out in perfect crackle. Um, did you see how Sack Pig does his Damascus pattern? I don't know what that is, Brendan. I don't know what that even means. I don't know what Damascus is. Oh, virtual. Do tell, Brendan. What are we missing here? What frustrated me is when you get one side that has the Grand Canyon running through it, and the other side has well distributed tiny cracks. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much is how it works. It's a lot easier to do. Um, just the back. You know what I mean? It's like crackle but cooler. No, bro. I could probably guess without even knowing what you're talking about. Uh, I mean, there's only so many ways you can do stuff like that. Does it involve cellophane? The white butterfly megabass coius. Best crackle paint I've ever seen on the fine art snakehead. Yeah, there's no way they're convincing me that that is paint because there it's not. Like it's not. Sorry, Megabass. You can blow that smoke up somebody else's ass, but I'm not buying it. They took a play out of the Stanley Wheat playbook. Rest in peace, Stanley Wheat. Well, y'all got me a little inspired to do a little crackly job. As much as I hate that shit, we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with. You might get there might only be 10 walkers left after I get done dicking around with crackle. I find it absurd they found a paint process that you can imitate a printed paint job. Like, how long do you think that would take if it? The thing about it is it's not painted. That's the difference. It's like everything is too thin. There's no way to replicate it, and they're all the same. Is the difference. So that fine amount of detail you cannot replicate over and over and over. And the ones I saw all looked the same. Never doing this again. I listened and I failed again. I didn't think I learned the lesson about putting shit in my paint. So added some crackle. Not sure if the Damascus works with lacquer. Is it like an ice effect stuff? I've got that shit too. It's for water-based paint. Let me see. Oh, weird. It's like a hydro dip. Oh, let me go back to Brendan's message. Yeah, like you said, it's like a weird crackle. That stuff is thick. Wow. We need a mistake foiled crackle temp color changing Dreamwalker. I think I have everything to do that. No, I don't know what this shit is. It's pretty gnarly though. It's not as appealing to my eye because it lacks cohesion. It would be good on like a frog, but for that bait, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. But that's not my choice. Do a foil Dreamwalker. I don't know if I want to foil those again. I did these, and I don't think I want to foil. Fucking hell, you're a funny guy. Fucking dick. Not cool, man. Too soon. You need a primer though for a painted bait because the snakehead color gun has primer behind it. You can see in the rash. Would you need a primer? No. No. You don't need a primer. I mean, they could probably do it over a knowing Megabass, they probably do it over some sort of transparent foil or something. Transparent foil or any of those, one of their coatings, I'm sure. Brendan, you got to go back to the beginning of the stream. That was a long explanation. He wasn't. He missed it. Gator, what's up? What is up? God, you're slow. South Jersey, I'm telling you, you don't have to get in there to see it because they're not painting it. They might be adding color, but that pattern of the scales and shit is not paint. They're it's some sort of transfer, it's some sort of something, but that part is not painted. I can see them go through and like highlighting stuff, but yeah, you can't replicate that. They'd never finish a bait, dude. It's too much detail. If they showed you inside the chocolate factory, they would probably have to kill you because you'd say, "Wait a minute, you damn Meister! I thought this was fine art. You're just stamping these things." Who are you? A shell foil Dreamwalker. Ooh, that would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. I will give you that, Burns. I need another piece of sandpaper. What is this? 220. I don't need that. I need three. I need 320. Oh, let's see here. What is this? This is probably 2 something. 220, 220. Of course you are. Don't need 220. No, I don't think it's stencils. The lines are too soft. For the separation they're getting, the lines are too soft. Everything is too soft. Everything is too. It's printed somehow. Um, it's either like it's like the same way that it's like a transparent version of what the like 86 baits are. Same. It's the same exact process. Whatever that, however that's printed, stamped. It's like a water slide. I mean, I'm sure they're not using a water slide, but uh, it's something like that that gives all the detail, and then they might go back and color it with airbrush paint. Um, so let me look at another one of these damn things. But the thing about like Stanley Wheats baits is people used to be able to look at Stanley Wheats baits and they are like the most obviously printed things you've ever seen in your life. And there was so many people that would get on his post and be like, "That's the best paint I've ever seen." And people would be like, "That's not paint." I'm like, what? Like it boggled my mind the amount of people that would look at Stanley stuff and be like, that's not that's not that's not an image." Like, sure it is. Yeah, there's I think there's just a base pattern put down and then they paint over the top of it. They add highlight colors the same way like Stanley Wheat would do it, where you basically transfer an image and then you just highlight colors. What is this one? I've looked at the Megabass pattern and the first thing I thought wasn't how do I paint that? It was I wonder if they stamped or wrapped that pattern. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Because they would be all over the place. Like the point of fine art isn't to be able to replicate it and do the same thing every time. Like that's they should call it something else. That's the opposite of fine art. Any of them, just the fine art series. And if they were done with the utmost detail and hand precision, you really think it'd be $24? I don't, because they're telling us that they can produce that in the same fashion that they can paint. It's just as efficient for them to paint a fine art bait as it is for them to paint uh, Northern Effect. Wrong. It's not the same. If that all that detail was done by hand, they would be $150. It's 100% a print. The price tag is what should, if you were really on the fence, the price tag is what should put you over the fence. If you need a nudge to take the Kool-Aid out of your mouth and say, you know what, there's I smell a rat here. I don't think so either, Jeremy. I've never been a fan of the wrapping. And in my experience, they've always been inferior in the fish catching department. Honestly, they've never been that. Will they get bit? Sure, but I don't. I feel like there's a lot of other painted colors that get bit better than a printed bait. The lure company. Hell, it says it in the first sentence or the first paragraph on the hookup. The lure of the company is painted on the third floor of the Megabass headquarters. The technique of printing, transfer printing, has been used for the real finish for a long time, but that of Megabass is painting. So they even make reference to transfer printing. And I think it's probably just a translation error. The technique of printing, transfer printing, has been used for the real finish for a long time, but that of Megabass is painting. A new painting method for Megabass cannot be painted by anyone. It is not suitable for mass production. Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry guys. Blow that smoke up somebody else's ass. Can't be produced. Only we can do it. We can only do it on the third floor of our building. It is very, very time consuming. Here you go, $24.99. I think you're right about the transfer printing. They just refined the print by adding more detail colors on top. Yeah. And I don't think it's that much. Like, I don't think that bait's got that much airbrush paint on it to begin with. It's got some to blend, like, some of it together, but even more suspect if they're more limited and they're still the same price. The most limited and the same price as a production run 110 do not go hand in hand. Not the same thing. And I don't know about Megabass, but I bet they're not in the market for painting you your fine art 110 for free. I'm sure somebody didn't do that all that hard work to send it over here for them to make no money on it in such a limited volume. South Jersey sneaking into Megabass. Say, I want to go to the third floor, please. Can we get a mega collaboration? Big M bait drop, bait foil painted by TK at low cost 150. There you go. There you go. I wonder how much of a percent of a 110 is total profit. And that probably wouldn't be a little hard to figure out. And they've probably got $3 in the bait. Distribution takes 10% or whatever, and then you got whoever's buying them probably marks them up another 30. You got 50% there, and then there's probably some whatever fees cost from getting there to here. So that's another percentage. You can figure it out. You can probably figure out what they're making on a bait. After everybody gets their hands dipped in it, there's probably a little meat on the bone left for Megabass. Hayden, no, the Pop Max is a piece of shit. Always has been, always will be. Nobody that throws a popper throws a Pop Max. Although it is the most beautiful of all poppers. The most breathtakingly striking lures you will ever see is the Megabass Pop Max. It is what all bait design should be modeled after in its beauty, not its action. I've never met anybody that South Jersey probably likes the Pop Max. It's probably his favorite. Tell me. He hates it. Damn, I was for sure that South Jersey was going to come back and be like, dude, these fish up here love a Pop Max. That's all they'll eat. Damn it. South Jersey is going to be the only person I knew on planet Earth that liked the Pop Max for fishing, not looking at. The Popar kicks its teeth in 100%. The Rico? You got a buddy that throws them? Is it the Muscle Man? Ooh, that was real aggressive. Big Rico fan. He only chugs. Oh. Get out of here with the chugging. You must, yeah, y'all are up north though. Y'all chug. Y'all are chuggers up north. What about that chug life? Well, 500 grit. Try this out. A pair of scissors. Don't have any. Yeah, dude. Brennan, I like it. Just wishing I had more reviews in it. I walked them normally, but I started to when I was kicking them at like the Ozarks. You started to get on that chug life? That's how I used to fish them when I was a kid because I didn't know any better. It was like the harder you could make it chug, the better. You would just get out there and throw it and just go bloom, bloom. I'm going to Toledo Bend the first week of November. Any suggestions? The first week of November. If you were going at Thanksgiving, I would say yes. But the first week of November, that might still be kind of goofy. I would throw. I don't know. Depends on what you're fishing. Are you a bank guy? Are you a point guy? Probably say a plopper, and I don't even fish a plopper. But Burns has some plastic popping baits, he says. Did you get one from Eric, South Jersey? You need to get a Tifa Slick Pop, Morgan. Get the Slick Pop, bro. See if you can find you one of those. Rico is the best mass-produced popper. And there's two schools, the Ricos and the Yellow Magic guys. The saltwater popper? No. I used to have some giant poppers. I've got those. I never really. I'm trying to think the one I had. It was for like tuna. It was big, but I always had those big uh, chug bugs. So I didn't. Outside of those, I didn't have to look. I liked the chug bug. I didn't go searching for other alternatives to a giant popar type thing. And the chug bug isn't really a popar; it's more of a walking bait than it is a popping bait, but it kind of will chug a little bit. I will be in a Triton for the trip. Brother-in-law has a boat and wants to fish the hydrilla coming back. We have a full week to be all over the lake. Two schools on the Rico. Guys that throw the Rico, guys that are wrong. Well, AJ, which one did Dinger have? Was that a Rico or was that a Yellow Magic? Damn, Kyle didn't realize it was that close. I have seen that walking bait you speak of, Jeremy. It's pretty. Has anyone used their Rico poppers like Rick Clun and just burn them? I've been doing it with the Dreamwalker, and it's been working. I do it for schooling fish, where you basically just throw it out there and then you just like start twitching and spastically reeling it in as fast as you can. That's a lot of times it's the only way you can get schooling fish to bite. But besides that, in a non-schooling fish situation, no. I don't typically go out there and try that retrieve, but schooling fish, you can pretty much just throw it out there and reel it in as fast as you can, and they'll blast it. That's like I said, that's about the only situation though. Bait it down the bank, just fishing any time of year, or like in the summertime. Mm-hmm. Dude, what's weird, Morgan, is like we used to get that like summer random fish speed schooling fish kind of bite where you could do that. Like I said, like we were talking about, like going down the bank, like reeling in your top water as fast as you can, pretty much. And I feel like I haven't experienced like schooling fish like we used to back in the day in like 20 years. It's like fish quit schooling. It's the oddest thing. Like you used to be able to launch your boat in the summertime and just look out across the river when you launch and you just see fish like getting busted and like schools of shad. You don't see that shit anymore. I don't know. South Jersey I didn't bring it up. He's got a lot on his plate. I didn't want to skew his mind. What is this? What does green is not my color mean? These, what the hell are you talking about? I'm about to have to get off of here and go find me some 320. This ain't cutting it. Fish meal or cruisers. It's probably the same for me, Morgan. I just didn't know it. I just didn't know it because it was dirty. The damn custom buzz baits were supposed to come in the mail today. I've been wanting to send you a payment and he does it all by hand as you order. Who is this gentleman? Who is this buzzbait magician? Jay Corwin. Is he the dude that is? He's got the. Jake did his buzzbait. Could never quite tell what. Like I kept seeing Jake post about it, and it seemed like a lot of stuff went into the bait, but it didn't like register with me. But anyway, let me get off of here so I can get to speed sanding. I still got to wash these and do some other stuff. But anyway, dudes, I don't think you'll get me away from the Booger Man. You're correct. If it ain't broke, I try not to fix it. Now that I've learned about paint, uh, broken in. Interesting. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Morgan. It seemed excessive for what they were, what the finished product was. I never really understood what was going on, but whatever. Um, just throw my bugs. All right, y'all be good. Thanks for sticking around, dudes. Talk to you next time. Bye bye.